Hello, this is Film Nerd Talks Films, and this is the second video in my thoughts on uh, uh, series. So today I want to talk about The Walking Dead Season 1, and I also want to talk about World War Z and why I hate that film, and as what I think should happen, what I think a zombie movie or TV series should be. Now, just a few things before I start talking. I do apologize uh, shaky, uh, for the shaky uh, webcam. It's just I um I, I like to record my thoughts on videos like this because it makes me feel like they're more vlogish than actual you know um makes them feel like more of a vlog than a review, which I like. Eventually, when I get editing software, I will have like some things. I will have some things pop up on screen. I'll have some things pop up on screen, pictures and stuff. If just hearing me talk is kind of boring, I hope it isn't. Uh, but yeah, let's get straight into it. So, The Walking Dead. I personally love The Walking Dead. I've loved The Walking Dead since season one, and I still do. I think it's a great show with great humanized characters. Now, you might be wondering why The Walking Dead season one. Why not review um, season five? Season six. Well, there's a good reason for that. That being, I've not actually watched through season six yet. I've only seen half of season five because I got distracted from the show. But I've seen properly. I've seen up to season four, and some of the best, some of the best in the zombie genre that I've seen. So, The Walking Dead season one. This is a very well structured series. Every episode feels different. Every episode feels like something new. And it does feel like the narrative goes somewhere. It does, It feels like it feels like uh, the narrative actually goes somewhere. That's better. Sorry, the camera was annoying me. Too much headroom. I'm sorry. Yeah, it actually feels like the narrative's going somewhere. It's a very compelling narrative as well. Um, I love the characters. I really like the. I think we've got there's. I like how humanized the characters are, and I like the very humanized arcs that are kickstarted as 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 well with Laurie, with Carol, with Rick, with uh, 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 Shane, who is a personal favorite of mine, a personal favorite character of mine. Um, yeah, so I think we've got some very nice humanized characters here, who we find in some very nice humanized situations. Well, I say nice as a they're in some very humanized. They find themselves in some very humanized and real, some real grounded situations. Um, yes, situations which challenge them, situations which push them to the edge. Which is really compelling because a key thing about anything about zombie movies or TV series or graphic novels, as this is based off one, is compelling characters. compelling characters, if we don't care about them, if you don't make them humanized, you know, if you don't make them human and vulnerable, we're not really going to care. If you don't give them any layers or construct them in any way, we're not going to care. So that's what this show does very well, especially the first series, because it's a lot short, because considering it, because it's only 6 episodes long, we get more time to actually, there's less time to there's more time, it's more constricted in, basically, since there's only 6 episodes. So we've got more time to remember the very powerful human moments. Yeah, so yeah, and the show doesn't wear out its welcome. Um, you know, the show doesn't wear out its welcome either. It's very short, like like I said, it's very nicely constructed. It's not too gory either. I like how they didn't go too heavy on the zombie gore. The zombies only came in when they had to. Yeah. The zombies only the the zombies were used sparingly. They're used when they have to be used. They're not like just thrown in there just to create a big action spectacle. It's actual. They're used very constructively, because after all, this show appreciates that the zombies are just a byproduct of the apocalypse. That this show appreciates that. Yeah, so yeah, the show really appreciates that, and in return, I really appreciate uh, 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 the show. So so yeah, it's a very good show. I absolutely love The Walking Dead. I think I've said most that I can on it. I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, very nice. It's very nicely constructed. Every episode is like a chapter. Very nice. Very. I use the word nice so loosely. Very humanized and likable characters for the most part. Very humanized characters. Likable is up down to whether they're likable or not is down to the viewer, but they're definitely very humanized, very compelling. That includes the main character, uh, Rick, and yeah, it doesn't wear out its welcome. It uses its zombies very sparingly, and yeah, it's not really it doesn't go too heavy on the gore. It focuses on the human factor, which is the best part of the show, and I love Merle as well, just to throw that in there at the end. Oh, Merle and Daryl, great characters, of course, as a multitude of fans agree, and I love where those characters go. I love the places that those two characters particularly go to. So yeah, I can't really say much more on The Walking Dead. I don't really want to talk about The Walking Dead season 1 in much more detail, because I don't want to spoil it. But great, uh, it's a great first season. I would definitely recommend it. I'd give it a 4 star. I wouldn't give it a 5 because it's not. I wouldn't give it a 5 because I just don't feel it's necessary to give it 5 star. Not because it's imperfect, but because it's just, there's bigger. It just doesn't really require it. If I was giving it 5 star, if I was giving it 5 stars, it would be like I'm saying it's the best thing since bread and butter, and I don't really want to come off as that. So 4 stars. 4 star is a good grade for it. Because because I think if you delved into it, you would find a few issues too. So 4 stars is a nice, comfortable grade for it. But I would definitely recommend it. I think it's great. Oh, it's got a great finale as well. It's got a great finale too. Sorry, I'm just throwing these uh, uh, pointers at the end, but I'm forgetting to say stuff. Like I actually recorded this before, but the freaking phone went, so I was distracted. Um, so I had to like answer that. So I just want to make sure I hit all the points that I did. But yeah, I do love the finale. It's a great finale. It's amazing actually. Probably one of the best finales The Walking Dead's had, if not the best. So yeah, 4 stars, great show. I would definitely recommend it. Now I want to talk about World War Z. I don't like going from positive to negative here, but World War Z. I absolutely hate this film. So I'm going to go through the reasons. Reason number one: this film is mindless. This film is so mindless. It's full of such mindless. It's full of such mindless action, and it never stops. Like never stops. To the point where it becomes to the point where it becomes very much to the point where it falls into Michael Bay territory, when every scene is just a big action scene and with nothing really investable going on, and it just becomes very convoluted and very gets so stale and boring, and yeah, it gets so stale and boring. It really does. And so yeah. And reason number two, I don't care about the characters. I really don't. The film is so full of action. So much is happening that we don't get to know our characters. And when the film does take a a breather, we still don't really know. We don't really, when the film does take a breather, which is very, very rare, we still don't really know much about our characters. Jerry, played by uh, Brad Pitt, an actor who I really like, really wasted it in this role. He's so bland, along with his family and everyone else. There is nothing compelling about these characters. Nothing at all. There's nothing compelling about them. And reason number three, no plot. There is absolutely no sense of narrative in this film. I mean, I can't really. If someone told me to explain the narrative of World War Z, all I could say was zombie apocalypse. That's all I could say because I can't. There's nothing else here. You know, there's really nothing else here to. There's really nothing else in the film to work with. There's so much action that I can't conceive a plot, which is also why the film gets so stale, because it's always the same thing over and over and over and over. Big action scene in a city, big action scene in a city, big action scene in a plane, big action scene in a medical facility. It's like non-stop, non-stop, and it gives us no constructive narrative to break up the action. There's no constructive narrative within the action, nothing to really understand. So it gets so boring to watch. It gets so stale. It gets so stupid. On top of that, the characters are just bland. I don't care about them at all. I really don't. If there was so much more compelling characters, I actually wouldn't mind the non-stop action as much. But there's not even any compelling characters. It's just they could have all died in the first 20 minutes, and I wouldn't have cared at all. Really, they're so awful. They're awful. To make a few good points about this film, though, I like the realistic depiction of the zombie transformation. I think that's very nice. I think I can sorry, I don't mean nice in the term that I don't mean nice in the way that nice to see. I mean, I think it's very I think it, I think it's very effective how they show it. Like that's how I can imagine it being. Someone falls to the ground after being bit, they go through a bit of a seizure, then they turn in. But and in those moments of the seizure, that's when they die. I can imagine that quite well. Actually, I can imagine that. Yeah. So I think in terms of the zombie transformation, probably one of the best depictions I've seen of that. There were certain action segments, like the plane scene, where I was a little bit pulled in, I guess, because of I don't know why. I think it's because of the constructed space. The constructed space, something about that just pulled me into the scene. But I think those are the two good things about the film, really. I can't really say much else that's good about it. I really just can't think of anything. And it's a real shame that the book, I mean, I might actually just review the book once I've finally got through it because it is such a good book, and it's amazing that such a great book was turned into such a crap fest of a film. Is he called Mel Brooks who wrote the book? He great great read. It's amazing. It's very effective. It really sets the pic. It really through the people talking, I really got a feel of the of World War Z and what that event was and what that fictional event was for them. Where it set up a nice atmospheric sort of had the read it had a nice atmospheric read as well. But yeah, such a great book turned into such a crap fest. But this isn't what a zombie film should be. This isn't what a zombie film or TV series should be. We should care for our characters. We really should, because in any apocalypse, whether it's zombies, whether it's giant tornadoes, whether it's earthquakes, whether it's whatever might bring the apocalypse, whether it's the plague, whatever might bring it, the human factor will always be the most important thing, because the human factor is, well, it's a very powerful thing. Like we all have people we love, our families, our girlfriends, our boyfriends, our mentors, our friends. We all have people we love, people we hang on to, people who give us hope in dark times, in dark, chaotic times. That's why the apocalypse itself, whatever form it might take, is only is the side product of any film, as it would be the side product in reality. And there's no layers to the apocalypse. It's just one constant threat with no layers. Human beings have layers. We can cry, we can laugh, we can be angry, we can be confused. But with the apocalypse, it's just one constant threat, one constant overwhelming threat, with nothing human about it. That's why when you're constantly showing the zombies, when you're constantly showing zombies clambering over walls, it's just not really, there's nothing compelling about it. There's absolutely nothing compelling about it. It's just so bad. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing compelling about it when you're just showing zombies clambering up walls and zombies, zombies running around eating people, and just you have that constantly for a whole film. It gets so exhausting and horrible to watch, because that's not the point of the apocalypse. Well, that's not what we want to see in the apocalypse. We want to see human characters surviving, bonding as people, as family, as lovers, as bonding, caring for each other, protecting each other. You know, so it's so and World War Z completely spits on this. It really does. And now I mean, this film. I feel sorry for Brad Pitt having to go through this whole, having to do this film. I feel sorry for the writers. I feel sorry for the writers. I feel sorry for the actor, for the other actors. I even feel sorry for the director, cause I don't want to believe I don't want to believe he was happy with the final product, and I don't want to believe he was happy directing it, cause this is crap. World War Z is crap, and this film's very existence just grinds on my nerves. It's everything a zombie film shouldn't be. It's absolutely terrible. You know, it's everything the zombie genre shouldn't be. And so yeah, I think those are basically my thoughts. If I rant on too much, this video might turn into a 40-minute video. So yeah, basically, those are my thoughts on World War Z. I would not recommend it. Don't watch it, and quite frankly, I don't understand why this film has fans. I mean, I don't get many comments on my videos, or well, I don't get any comments on my videos as far. But maybe if you could just drop me a little comment down below, tell me your opinion on World War Z. But because there's so many people who like this film, and I don't understand. I don't get it. I really don't. I think it's an atrocity. I really do. So that's my thoughts on The Walking Dead Season 1 and World War Z. My next video on my thoughts on will be, well, so before this video I watched Transformers The Age of Extinction. It felt never ending, it was so atrociously awful. It suffers the same issues as, this is why I said World War Z falls into the Michael Bay kind of area of things. But I'll get into more detail on the video. But yeah, it's just I'll get much into more detail on that. But I want to talk about the Transformers franchise and why I think it shouldn't exist, why I think it's just one of the worst things in our recent film culture. Why I think Michael Bay should just take quite a few steps back and rethink his directing strategy. I don't care if it makes money, but anyway, I'm not. I don't want to start talking too much into that right now. Um, but that'll be my next video, and I'll also be talking about. I want to talk about classic Transformers. I want to review. I want to review Transformers the first season of the classic show, which I'm gonna watch, which I've not actually watched before, but it'll be great to review the old material whilst criticizing the new, because it needs to be criticized. It's so dreadful. But yeah, so yeah, I will see you on my next on my next on my next video. Goodbye.